What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements, link and discount code down in the description, as well as my Webull referral link. You get a free share just for joining. And today they announced fractional shares. You can own any company you want for a $5 minimum. Pretty amazing stuff. I love fractional shares. I got my shares at Google and Amazon, by the way. Want to talk about Bengal. Great YouTuber, massive channel, puts out a tweet today. Madden 22 made a massive effort to overhaul franchise mode. And in this deep dive of the deep dive, we go behind the scenes with Swami, who's blocked me on Twitter, on every change made to franchise mode and when to expect the complete scouting overhaul. And as you can see, Madden NFL Direct retweets this, which to me signifies, they want praise for this, okay? Now, before you sit there and say, I bash Madden, EA can never do anything right, I'm just a Madden hate channel, some of you have to get outside of video games, okay? A lot of us are adults. A lot of us have jobs, okay? When you're done your job, do you look for others to praise you for simply doing your job? No, it's what you're there to do. You're employed. This is how you make a living. You're supposed to improve every day. You're supposed to try to get better. So let's take a look at this scouting, okay? Region breakdown, National, Western, Central, Northeast, Southeast, okay? Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Strengths. Quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. Weakness, defensive tackle, cornerback, middle linebacker. Top prospects, okay? Now, I'm not going to sit there and hate on this. This is something that should have been in the game for a long time. But what I will offer to you is, we know, beyond the shadow of a doubt, this is a 3-year project for EA Sports, okay? EA is a massive company. Let me show you Axis Football. Axis Football is made with a percentage of the team, a percentage of the funding, a percentage of the programmers. I would wager to say it costs more for EA to advertise Madden than it does to make Axis Football. So here is their scouting: West, Central, Southeast, Northeast. Scout overview. The scout gets points assigned to him, which are free. You then put them toward the players you're looking to scout. You can change the scouting focus if you want to go just defensive players, linemen, corners, whatever the case, just offensive players. You can see what the scouting focus is now, and then you can do scouting reports for all these regions to know exactly what the best players are. And then even when you do all this, guess what? You still get players that stink. You also get players that are good. Now let's take a look at Madden. Scouting assignments. It's literally the same exact thing. So when they want to be praised for this, okay, I'm not saying to not appreciate and be thankful for them improving the game. What I'm saying is, you know how you get to the point where you don't praise someone for doing a good job? You do a good enough job that it never falls so far behind they need this massive effort. Okay, let's not get lost on the fact that this massive effort was a direct connection to the fact that they neglected this mode for years on years on years. While not one but 2 independent football games came to consoles that did a better job. Not one but maybe 5 football managers came in to PC, where EA then tried to rival. Right? That's the reality of the situation. If you're looking for no gameplay, right? If you're just looking for depth in a franchise mode, then head coach is probably still your best console option for NFL. And Axis Football and Maximum Football both offer very compelling options for depth of dynasty and franchise mode. Again, that's excluding gameplay. So I don't want anyone to come to me and talk about graphics or what the game looks like or how the games lack animation or, oh my God, this game looks awful. I'm simply talking about this, the massive effort of franchise modes. It is not up for debate. 2 independent companies with, I would say, a combined 10 people built things better, faster, in functioning quicker than EA Sports. There is nothing to be proud of about this if you work at EA. In fact, when they say they go out to the community, I really want to know, when they went out to the community, who did they talk to? I've yet to have one person approach me. One person that is put in the comment section, I am the one that they spoke to about franchise mode. I am the gamer. I am the user. I am the person that they derived feedback for in terms of what was needed. You don't need to go to the community to get feedback. This is the problem I had with EA when I was there in Madden 25. Okay, this is the problem I have with people like Swami and community members being brought on to a degree, because you don't need us to tell you NFL football. You don't. I'm sorry. You have Clint there. Clint played in the NFL. Clint should have a firm grasp of all of this beyond any of our comprehension. Okay? They had Pat Kerwin. To me, Pat Kerwin is almost a godlike figure, God of War in the NFL. You have his knowledge, okay? He went there and gave you each a copy of his book and a DVD that details everything. This is a man that has literally worked at every facet of a front office. What do you need someone that plays a video game for? He has more knowledge than any of us will ever have. He has more experience than any of us will ever have. This is a guy that has literally been a general manager, been a scout, evaluated talent, made calls on draft day. And you've got a guy named Swami? Because he made YouTube videos on franchise modes? No, that's not how any of this works, EA Sports. Right? I understand to some of you little kid gamers, that may be what you want to hear, but the reality is for most of us that are adults, we want a simulation football game that, by the way, EA took from us by getting a monopoly practically in the market and paying for an exclusivity agreement that they're still upholding to this day to make sure that only they can make a simulation football title, and yet they're relying on glorified children to tell them how the NFL functions and what needs to be in a game. Go right now over to Amazon. Use one of my links. I'll put a link down in the description. Go buy the book, Take Your Eye Off the Ball from Pat Kerwin. Go read that book. It's an easy read, I promise you. And then you'll maybe see all the things that Madden doesn't do just from a franchise perspective. We're not even going to get into the X's and O's. Just from a franchise perspective. If you guys are championing this, if you guys are looking at this and saying, my God, they did the hard work, I am telling you, by knowing people in this community that have built games, the answer to that is no. This is simplistic. This is repetitive. This is easy work for a company like EA Sports. Easy work. This is 2 weeks of actual dedicated work for a company that makes billions of dollars. And anyone that doesn't think that needs to go reevaluate how they view gaming companies. Maybe needs to go play some of the independent games and ask how on earth they were able to accomplish this based on how you're holding EA to this standard. Again, the big takeaway here, not to discredit any of the work they did. It's appreciated and I thank them for it. But at the same time, I am not going to bend over backwards to thank you for doing your job. It is your job. And if you don't neglect something so much, you never get to the point that a massive effort is needed. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. I will be back in the week with more commentary.